Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you are planning to take the DET, then this video is really going to help you make sure that your results are certified and that you get the highest score possible. Today, we're looking at the 9 most common mistakes that people make when taking the test. Let's jump in. Mistake number 1, going fast on some questions to save time for other questions. On the DET, every question has its own timer. So going fast on one question does not give you additional time for other questions. However, there are 2 exceptions to this. In the interactive listening and the interactive reading sets of questions, you will have multiple questions with one timer. So those are the only parts of the test where you have to worry about going fast on some questions to save time for other questions. Otherwise, you can use all of the time available to you for every question. Mistake number 2, going fast to score higher. Some test takers think that going faster will get them a higher score because it will show that English is easy for them. But that is wrong. In the official guide to the DET, Duolingo says, use all of the time you have available to answer a question. You will not receive a better score for answering questions faster. I wanted to take a moment to let you know about Arno. With Arno, you get unlimited practice questions for every question type on the DET for free. And if you purchase credits, then you can get feedback on your answers to writing and speaking questions. When you submit a response in Arno, you will get an instant estimated score as well as a breakdown of your vocabulary, showing you how advanced your vocabulary is. You can also ask Arno to point out any grammar mistakes, as well as opportunities to improve your language and vocabulary to get a higher score. You can view other people's answers to get inspiration for your own answer, and you can even ask Arno to rewrite your answer to make it sound like a native speaker wrote it. So all of this feedback really helps you to improve your English and get the highest score possible on the DET. To get started, you just need to go to goarno.io to create your free account. Mistake number 3, studying read and select and read and complete questions too much. The issue is that there are thousands, tens of thousands of words that could appear on the test. It would take years to learn all of the words that you could see in these 2 questions. So, spending your time trying to memorize words for these 2 questions is just not an efficient use of time. Your time will be better spent learning vocabulary that is useful to you. So this is vocabulary that would come up in everyday life and vocabulary that you can use in your writing and speaking. You should read English books and articles and watch English language television and movies and look up words that you don't know. And you should be sure to practice using those words in writing and speaking so that you really master them. Mistake number 4, looking away from the screen. Because you take the DET from home, Duolingo has to be very careful about preventing cheating. This means that if you give Duolingo any reason to suspect that you may have cheated, they won't certify your results and you will have to retake the test. The exam proctors have to be completely confident that you did not cheat. The most common reason for which Duolingo won't certify test results is that the test taker looked away from the screen too much. This is a problem for so many people because it's perfectly natural to look around as we are thinking and writing and speaking. So, as you are practicing for the DET, you have to train yourself to keep your eyes on the screen. For writing questions, you are allowed to look down at your keyboard as you type, but you have to avoid looking to the sides. You have to keep your eyes on your computer the entire time. Don't look to the sides, don't look up, don't look too far down. Just keep your eyes on your computer. Mistake number 5, not taking the test in a quiet room. Another common reason for which Duolingo won't certify your results is that they think you were not alone in the room where you took the test. If the test proctors hear another person's voice, Even if that person is outside the room, they will suspect that that person was in the room with you and they won't certify your results. So you need to take the test in a quiet, ideally silent room so that you don't give the proctors any reason to believe that you were not alone while you took the test. Mistake number 6, not taking the test in a bright room. If the room in which you took the test is too dark, like this, then it will be harder for the proctors to see you and the rest of the room. This makes it harder for them to be completely confident that you were alone in the room and that you did not use notes or somehow cheated. So you want to make sure that it is very easy to see your face and your background. One trick that some students have had luck with is that they put a mirror behind them. And this allows the proctor to see more of the room in the reflection. Mistake number 7, not proofreading your responses. You should think of writing as 2 separate processes. First, you write, and then you edit. When you are writing, you're just getting the ideas out of your head and onto the page. Then when you edit, you're fixing grammatical mistakes and misspellings and adding any missing words and improving the language of your response. If you try to write and edit at the same time, you're not going to do either as well as you can, and your writing will not be as strong as it can be. For writing questions, we recommend that for each minute of the question, you spend 50 seconds writing and 10 seconds editing. So for a 3-minute writing question, you should write for 2 minutes and 30 seconds and edit for 30 seconds. While you are editing your responses, focus on fixing obvious errors like typos and missing words and incomplete sentences, because those are the mistakes that will lose you the greatest number of points. And they're also the mistakes that are easiest to fix. Mistake number 8, including irrelevant ideas in your response. Task relevance is one of the criteria that Duolingo uses to evaluate writing responses. Task relevance just means how well you stay on topic. On writing and speaking questions, some test takers will ramble. Ramble just means to go from one idea to another idea randomly. There's no main point, and there is no logical connection between your ideas. For example, you could be asked to talk about your favorite restaurant. Some test takers will say things like, "My favorite restaurant is McDonald's. I went there last week, and I saw a dog. I like dogs, but I like cats more. I used to have a cat." The test taker is supposed to be talking about their favorite restaurant, and instead they're talking about pets. When you ramble like that, you are going to lose a lot of points on your response. To stay focused on the topic, it's very helpful to have a strategy. To learn some useful strategies, check out this video. Mistake number 9, not speaking clearly. One of the scoring criteria for speaking questions on the test is simply how easy it is to understand you. So it's crucial that you focus on pronouncing your words clearly. Speak a little more loudly than you would if you were having a conversation with somebody sitting across the table from you, because that is going to make it easy for the proctor to hear your voice in the recording. And finally, slow down. When we get nervous, we tend to speak more quickly. So it's important to remember to relax and slow down and make sure that you pronounce each word and each syllable well. How I have been speaking in this video is a great way to speak for the Duolingo English Test. A useful trick that we recommend to our students at Arno is that you pretend like you are speaking to an older person like your grandfather or your grandmother. When you speak to somebody like your grandfather or your grandmother, you slow down, you speak more loudly, and you pronounce your words clearly so that you can be sure they understand you. And that's exactly how you want to speak on the test. Now you know what you need to do to make sure that your results on the DET are certified and that you get the highest score possible. To get more helpful videos like this one, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to start practicing for the DET, just head to goarno.io to create your free account. That's all for today. I'll see you next time.